Northeast Georgia and the Lowcountry. This is WJCL 22 Morning News. See us now.
Let us continue working together. Let's keep winning. I believe in South Carolina. I believe in America.
Right now on WJCL 22 Morning News, we're learning the state of South Carolina, from roads and law enforcement to education and mental health. Governor Henry McMaster lays out his priorities for the new year.
COVID classroom concerns. School districts across the country dealing with major teacher shortages, plus the potential new timeline for when kids under 5 can roll up their sleeves to get vaccinated.
1 year mark. I'm Aixa Diaz in Washington. What President Biden is saying about the challenges that he's faced in his first year in office and what lies ahead in the second.
Plus, I went straight to local experts to find out how President Biden's low approval rating will impact Georgia's crucial political races this year. It is just after 6 o'clock on this Thursday morning, and we are looking live from our Skyview 22 on top of the Homewood Suites on the river. Looks like a boats going by in the river there this morning. We want to thank you so much for starting your day with us right here on WJCL 22. Good morning, everyone. I'm Emma Hamilton.
And I'm Frank Sulkowski. Yeah, I've seen that one, Jonathan, on your camera. I look and I see that one little thing. Just blip, blip, blip.
And a cold ride on the water.
I don't know if I would want to be on a boat this morning.
Create quite a bit of a wind chill riding in that boat. But for today, not a bad day. Around 70 for a lot of us for highs. But get ready for some wintry weather for parts of the area Friday night and early on Saturday morning. Very unusual for us to see freezing rain for the area, and it looks like some of us may pick up some freezing rain on Friday night. Now for today, no problems with that commute out the door for school this morning. A little sunshine this morning. It is chilly, low to mid 40s, 67 to close to 70 from lunchtime all the way into the afternoon after school. Now umbrella needed later today. I do expect to see some showers developing mainly after 2 and 3 o'clock, and you see that rain back off to our west. That'll continue to move our way throughout the daytime, so a decent chance for rain, especially closer towards sunset this evening and all the way into throughout the daytime on Friday. Now impacts that will be coming our way. Rain likely. It'll be a cold rain throughout the day on Friday, and then Friday night, Saturday morning, I do expect to see some inland freezing rain that will be possible. Maybe some light icing for some areas. I'm going to track that out and show you exactly who's going to pick up some of that freezing rain as we go into Friday night, early Saturday morning, and then also detailing more of the weekend forecasts in less than 10 minutes.
For our friends down in Blackshear, here's Pierce County Main Street down there as folks get their Thursday morning started. Logs are on the run, moving out. All right, looking good. Traffic not too bad in Pierce County.
Well, today marks 1 year since President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were officially sworn into office. Looking back, the past 12 months have been difficult for the entire nation.
Yeah, with the raging pandemic, rising inflation, and a charged political divide, especially right here in our part of the country. We want to go ahead and check in with our Aixa Diaz in Washington now as the president faces another legislative setback.
Emma, Frank, President Biden says he's disappointed but not deterred after the Senate blocked voting rights last night. He's not ruling out executive action on that issue as he looks ahead to his second year.
We have faced some of the biggest challenges that we've ever faced in this country.
At a White House press conference, President Biden answered questions about his first year in office and what lies ahead.
We're not going back to lockdowns. We're not going back to closing schools. Schools should stay open.
The president acknowledging the frustration and exhaustion Americans are feeling over COVID and inflation.
The best thing to tackle high prices is a more productive economy.
The president pointing to the bipartisan infrastructure bill as a first-year accomplishment and admits his bigger proposals like Build Back Better will need to be pared down in order to pass.
I think we can break the package up, get as much as we can now, and come back and fight for the rest later.
Biden has no choice but to be incremental about going forward. They simply do not have the votes in the Congress to pass the kind of legislation Biden wants.
The president also pointing the finger at Republicans for blocking his agenda, but 2 members of his own party are the ones standing in the way of voting rights and the social spending package. In Washington, Aixa Diaz, WJCL 22 News.
Well, Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock tweeted overnight, "I will not give up. We will not give up." He also tweeted, "Despite tonight's vote, we cannot turn away. This will not be the last opportunity we get to fight for voting rights. We will meet the moment again to try again and again until we succeed." Well, according to a Quinnipiac poll, President Joe Biden's approval rating has hit an all-time low of just 33%.
I sat down with Georgia Southern political science professor Dr. Kimberly Martin to get her thoughts on why Biden's approval rating is so low and how it could affect the political races in Georgia this year.
At this point, the Democrats don't seem to have a unified message.
Georgia Southern political science professor Dr. Kimberly Martin says that plays into President Joe Biden's approval rating, but there are also several other factors.
Whether it's some combination of a lack of salesmanship on his part, or whether it has something to do with the pandemic and the fatigue that we're seeing from American citizens from the pandemic, it just doesn't seem like Americans are really giving him credit for a lot of the policies that he has been able to pass.
Martin says former President Donald Trump touted his accomplishments, which made the American people favor him while he was in office. She says Biden should consider doing the same.
He needs to start being a little bit better of a salesman. He needs to show people why they voted for him and why they should continue to vote for him and for Democrats in the future.
How do you think his low approval rating could affect the big races that we have here in Georgia between the governor's race and the Senate race this year?
The governor's race right now is pretty interesting because one of the reasons that Biden has such a low approval rating is among some of those voters, particularly those in Georgia who pushed him over the edge and gave him the win in Georgia during the 2020 election. A lot of them are really focused on voting rights. Now, this is interesting because voting rights is Stacey Abrams' big policy issue. And so it really remains to be seen whether voters will hold that against her or not, since she didn't necessarily have anything to do with the failed voting rights bills in Congress.
With Senator Raphael Warnock up for re-election, Martin says it's going to be a challenge for him to keep his seat.
Really what he needs to do as well is really hone in on the message, make sure that the message isn't so disjointed, because at this point, the Democrats aren't really explaining what it is that their legislation can do for the average American. So it'll be an uphill battle for him at this point.
Asked Martin if she believes it will be a Governor Kemp and Stacey Abrams rematch. She says Kemp has the advantage because he's the incumbent, but that people who support former President Donald Trump will likely vote for David Perdue in the primary. Our Greg Coy spoke one-on-one with David Perdue just yesterday and Stacey Abrams a few weeks back. You can watch both of those interviews right now on our website, that's WJCL.com, as well as our Brooke Butler's interview with Governor Brian Kemp. We have requested interviews with the other candidates and have not yet heard back.
All right, now Garden City Police need your help finding a runaway teen. Police say Dikenya Diamond Johnson was last seen last Friday in the Leon Village area. If you have any information about her whereabouts, please contact Garden City Police.
This morning, more school districts are being forced to take action to address a teacher shortage. ABC's Ike Ajachi has more on the concerns in the classroom as we learn vaccinating children under the age of 5 could take longer than we thought.
This morning, states now taking new action.
We have to literally have an all-hands-on-deck approach.
As COVID-related staffing shortages threaten to close more classrooms. In New Mexico, the governor now calling on the National Guard to teach kids because of a shortage of nearly 1,000 substitute teachers.
These are folks who are quickly adaptable because of their specific training to meet the needs in any community issue, irrespective of what it is.
In Oklahoma, off-duty police officers are now stepping in to teach after an executive order from the governor cleared the way for state employees to staff classrooms. But some good news for parents in the race to vaccinate more children. The FDA is expected to review vaccines for kids under age 5 as early as next month. Preliminary data shows kids 2 to 4 years old will likely need 3 doses for full protection.
It is likely that it will be a 3-dose vaccine. And that being the case, it's going to take a little longer to get those data to the FDA and approved.
Meanwhile, this morning, new guidelines from the National Institutes of Health recommend hospitals avoid using monoclonal antibody treatments from Regeneron and Eli Lilly due to their ineffectiveness in fighting the Omicron variant. The updated guidelines come just 1 week after the government spent billions of dollars stockpiling both treatments.
We still have options, but we need to work to develop more therapies for those people who will get infected with the virus.
Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
we will continue to grow and prosper in South Carolina.
All right, now we're learning the achievements and new priorities in South Carolina this year after Governor Henry McMaster's State of the State address. McMaster spoke on the funding for his budget to further education, improve infrastructure, and law enforcement.
My executive budget again proposes providing $21 million for the grants to law enforcement agencies for additional body cameras and bulletproof vests.
McMaster also reminded us he's pushing for an immediate review of the state's behavioral health system.